Hi, everyone. Before I go and do this again, I want to make sure that I'm actually streaming because I was streaming audio and not video. And for some reason, I don't know what's going on with my streaming. I'm wondering if I did something wrong or what. So anyway, I am here today to talk to you about navigating the holidays alone. I'm going to share these tips again, and hopefully, here we go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm streaming on Facebook. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to, at least you can see me. Before I did it and you couldn't see me. And I thought, oh, I got to do this again. So anyway, I am thrilled to be here. I was here yesterday with you. I shared with you some tips on grieving and navigating the holidays after a loss, the loss of a loved one. I know that too familiar. It was just too familiar for me with the loss of my father right around the holidays a few years back. So I shared that with you on my YouTube channel. You can go over to check it out. You can just look up Michelle E. Dickinson and that video will pop up in case you missed yesterday's. So today is all about navigating the holidays alone. It's all about what we can do to take care of ourselves and preserve our mental well-being. So thank you for being here. I'm thrilled to have you. Somebody is here. Oh, good. Keith is confirming that he can see me. That's great. Awesome. Okay. Technology, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? And I was just bragging about how happy I was streaming across all these platforms and it was working like magic. And then boom, I do a video and there's no video. So technology, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, so today we're going to talk about the reason why I'm doing the series, first off, is because the holidays can invoke a lot of emotions for all of us. You know, we can be flooded with memories and it can consume us if we're not careful. In a good way, it can serve us and have us enjoy the holidays, but then also on the flip side, it can also make us feel sad, lonely, maybe disconnected if we're missing people. So today's session, as I mentioned, is all about having to deal with the holidays by yourself. Doing it solo. You may have moved to a new location. You may find yourself alone for a myriad of reasons this Christmas, this holiday. So I just wanted to give you some tips to empower you to have you have a good experience of the holidays. So for me, I dealt with loneliness and being alone last year. Last year was a perfect example of that. Quarantine, people in my life wanted to include me, but couldn't. You know, we were also in a very different place because of this pandemic. And while it was hard and challenging for me, it actually forced me to become more curious about myself and about loneliness in general. So that's what we're really going to dive into. But before we do, just a little bit about what I do. I get to work with organizations and institutions to help recenter employees. I teach psychological resilience and compassion in the workplace. Something I think we need to bring more to the workplace is compassion. Overall, the work I do preserves mental well-being and leaves people empowered. So if you think it's something that you would want to share with an organization near you, please do. If I do anything with my time today here on this video with you, is I really want to leave you a little bit more empowered around your well-being in general. So let's dive in. So to talk about being alone around the holidays, we really need to start by talking about the idea of loneliness and what is loneliness and its impact. So you need to understand that feeling lonely can absolutely have a negative mental health impact on you if that loneliness goes on for long periods of time. Loneliness has absolutely been associated with the increase of certain mental health challenges, and that includes depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, sleep problems, and increased stress. But did you know that we get to choose how we relate to being alone? So we can relate to it as there's something wrong, there's something missing, or there's something broken, or we can lean into it being something more positive, like there is great strength and solitude in being alone. And so when you think about being alone as solitude, you oftentimes think of peacefulness, right? So peacefulness is present and solitude is present in loneliness as well. So if we can simply start to shift our relationship to being alone and look to the strength of it, that can already make a difference for us. But how do we navigate loneliness when it's persistent? So you say, Michelle, okay, fine, I'll try that on. I'm strong. There's strength in being alone. But reality is, I still feel persistent feelings of loneliness being by myself. So I have a couple of ideas I can share with you to help you with that. First off, you want to be sure that you're checking in on how you're doing every single day. We have a tendency when we wake up in the morning, we do a physical body scan of how we're feeling physically, but we're not actually checking in with how we're doing emotionally. And that can be a slippery slope if we choose to suppress it or ignore it. So you want to get into the habit of saying, how am I feeling today? How am I feeling emotionally, mentally? Do I need to reach out to someone and talk to them? Or do I just need to go and do something to help myself feel better so I don't feel worse come tomorrow morning the same time? So, the other thing we can do, the second tip, is we can focus on increasing our sense of connection, first and foremost to ourselves and then to others. So, what do I mean when I say connection to yourself? Well, there are things that you can do to really find that peacefulness within you. And the one thing that I highly recommend and I'm always promoting in my courses is meditation. Meditation is a beautiful way to connect to the self, to really get present to how you're doing, to get present to your subconscious mind, and to really just be with you. So I say meditation is the first step when you're starting to feel lonely. And then an attitude of gratitude. It sounds cliche, but it's true. If we stop looking around for what's missing, people, relationships, partners, family that's not together, if we stop that and we start to look at what's good, what's great right now for me? Well, I got a beautiful place to live. I have animals. I have, some stability in my life. I have my health. If you stop and really get present to what's good and stop, it'll take your attention off of what's missing and what you're longing for. And then reaching out and talking to other people, right? Connecting with people, even if it's over the phone, even if it's an old friend. A lot of people are having downtime over the holidays. So it's a great opportunity to have a nice long conversation with someone you miss. So who have you been thinking about that you need to call? So think about that and maybe reach out to them. And then extending yourself to someone who needs your help. This has helped me so much. Whenever I get stuck in my head about being sad or being lonely, I find ways to extend myself to other people because it takes my focus off of myself and puts it on someone else. And, volunteering is a great way to do that. Going and volunteering in a soup kitchen or a food pantry or just extending yourself gets you out of your own space and really a contribution to other people. Now, the holidays are often seen as a season of joy and love and togetherness, but try to reframe your expectations of the holidays. If that's how you relate to them, try to reframe it and really think about how can you create the holidays newly just for you. And that includes traditions that you love. Maybe you start a new tradition this year that every, Christmas Day, I'm going to do this, or every Christmas Eve, I'm going to start doing this, regardless of who I'm with. And I'm going to do that for me because I enjoy it. Or what are you going to do for yourself over the holidays in terms of trying something new? For me, I'm thinking about the holiday break and I'm like, I'm going to go try that Pilates class I always wanted to try. Or I'm going to try a really challenging project, a clay project in my studio, just to have fun and escape. So maybe there's something you want to try, and this is a great opportunity, great time of year to do that. Showing your self-love. So really not waiting for anyone else to, really just showing your self-love. What does that mean? What do you love? What makes you feel good? So for me, I think about there are two experiences that come to mind that I am left feeling amazing when I do them. Keep it clean. The first one is going to a Korean spa. Whenever I walk out the door of a Korean spa, I feel amazing. I've just pampered myself. I have steamed every toxin out of my system and I feel rejuvenated. And I feel the same way when I go and do yoga. Yoga leaves me feeling amazing physically. So, what is it that you can do for yourself that leaves you feeling really good? So, think about that. And it could be anything that you know that brings you that sense of self love. So also you want to also, I have to say this, it's so important. I mentioned this in the video yesterday. When things get too hard, like don't think you have to do it by yourself. Reach out, get support. I say this all the time. The brain is just another organ, and sometimes we need to give it a little bit of extra support to help us. So don't suffer in silence. I mentioned Talkspace yesterday. I think within 24 hours, you could be texting a therapist. So there's no reason to put off getting support if that's what you feel like you need. So those are my tips for helping yourself navigate the holidays all alone. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember that you plus me equals a better world. So if this message can help someone that you know who might be struggling alone over the holidays, please do share this. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to be back. I'm going to share some general strategies and tips on how to navigate the holidays and preserve your well-being. I'm even going to talk about how do you navigate the difficult family member that you know you have to see. So you want to pop in for that, and I will share the link as well for that for tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad that you could see me this time. I'm glad that I was able to do it another time. Reach out if I can help you in any way, and have a great day.